Well, my dad was a police officer, and we always fixed cars on the side, him and I, so I decided to get into auto body. Did that for 15 years. Didn't like it. Got into this. Started off in landscaping. When I did landscaping, it was pretty natural going from landscaping to hardscapes. Like this type of work came very easy to me because I like doing concrete, retaining walls, ponds. That's what we specialize in.
So when I first found out that I had a passion for it, I was probably 3 years old. And we started going through all the machines. I was sitting in all of them, and I started running them shortly after, and just started. I was sitting on his lap running them, and went from sitting on his lap to running them by myself, and got to the point where I am now, where he could leave the job and I could just run the machine, and I know he can come back and it'll be done right.
Being a hardscape company, we don't do just one thing. Like one day we might be excavating, tomorrow we might be doing concrete, the next day we might be putting a pond in, we could put a lawn in, so that's a lot of different things you have to learn.
It is hard to find skilled labor, to be able to operate equipment, be able to run the jobs that these size customers are doing. What we try to do is pair the customer up with some of this equipment with technology built into it, to where we can make them be able to do bigger jobs with less help.
For compact equipment, I'm looking for basically the size. Like we do a lot of tight jobs, so if that machine could fit in tight spaces, that's what I look for personally. Ease of use, I mean, they're very easy to operate. Climate control, because I have type 2 diabetes, and last year I was on a job, my hands went totally numb, I couldn't feel them. Had to go back and forth to the truck, stick my hands in the heater every 15 minutes, so that was a huge breaking point for me. So I went down to Caterpillar, and I walked in the showroom looking for a thumb for my 301. The 302 was sitting there, I'm like, that's the same size, I said. Does it have a thumb? He said, yeah. I said, how about heat? Rory opened up the cab, showed me the heat, and that was it. They put me right in the seat, per se. The size of the 302 was basically the same size as my old 301, but it seemed like a much more beefier machine, more horsepower, more digging depth. Now, being I have a thumb for the smaller machine, like we could pick up rocks, sidewalks, stumps. It's a no-brainer.
When I'm digging, I like to use a stick steer, just getting back and forth. It's a super convenient feature. You can run your blade with your joysticks. You don't have to stop what you're doing, reach for the joysticks, reposition yourself. You just hit a button and you're moving. That's it. I sit there with the radio. I keep it a little higher than my dad would. I keep the AC on in the summer, I'm not gonna lie. The display is really convenient. Everything's right there to your right. Everything you need, just at the click of a button. It's right there.
I like the climate control. And it's my office, so if I'm in that machine all day long, I got the nice cloth seats, it's all the creature comforts of home. It's a small business owner, I wear a lot of different hats. Like I'm the estimator, the bookkeeper, the equipment operator, concrete finisher, so that's a hard thing to do as a small business. You try to fill all those positions, it's nearly impossible. What made me the most proud of my business is my son coming into it. I mean, just for him loving the business. I never forced him to do this. He was a natural, just loves it. He's going to school for masonry, so he could also do concrete, stonework, but he could do block and brick. So he's gonna bring a whole different element to our job where we never did before.